Unfortunately, many Americans live on the of hope. Some because of their poverty, and some because of their color, and all too many because of both. Our task is to help replace their despair with opportunity. And this administration today, here and now, declares unconditional war on poverty in America.
Now, 50 years after that declaration of war, poverty continues to run rampant right here in America. And sadly, it seems that the only solutions the left that they have to this problem is just demonize the so-called rich and encourage more citizens to rely on the government. Now, just today, the Senate advanced a $6 billion bill to extend unemployment insurance, even though that's not paid for. And not surprisingly, the president was quick to applaud the vote.
America's getting stronger, and we've made progress. And the economy is growing. And we've got to do more to make sure that all Americans share in that growth. And we should build on that progress with what I said should be the first order of business in 2014. And that is extending insurance for the unemployed. Voting for unemployment insurance helps people and creates jobs. And voting against it does not. Congress should pass this bipartisan plan right away, and I will sign it right away.
Now, the president, while he's busy touting the merits of extending unemployment benefits, raising the minimum wage, and taxing the rich, he always says that, the reality is that he's admitting his economic strategy has in fact failed. Here's Britt Hume.
The administration's appeal for a further extension of unemployment benefits may succeed in putting congressional Republicans in a tight spot if they resist. In that sense, it may be a shrewd political move. Yet embedded in it is an extraordinary acknowledgement of failure by the president and his party. We are now 4.5 years into an economic recovery that Democrats keep telling us is getting better all the time. Yet the job market remains so weak, the jobless rate so high, that the president considers it an emergency. Indeed, that is the official name of these extended benefits, emergency unemployment compensation.
And here with reaction from the Fox Business Network, Charles Payne, Fox News contributor Tamara Holder. You know, I listened to this. We're now entering the 6th year of Obama's presidency. Let's see, we've been through stimulus, son of stimulus, grandson of stimulus, the summer of recovery where 500,000 jobs were going to be created every month. And we have the lowest job participation rate in decades. Is unemployment the answer, or maybe a policy that will create jobs?
Well, what is your policy?
My policy is to drill. My policy is economic sanity, which is the Penny Plan. Drill, fracking, natural gas, and coal. That's the answer.
But what about the poor? Because it seems like every time I've been on your show, you question where I get my sources. So I went to Jesus. I went to the Holy Bible. And if I recall, in Mark,
this is interesting.
And Jesus, looking at him, loved him and said to him, you lack one thing. Go, sell all that you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Come, follow me.
Okay, it didn't say the government take it, though.
No, but you're saying...
He said, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. I'll give you one other quote. Jesus also said, the poor will be with you always. Is that not in that good book?
Absolutely.
Oh.
So you don't think that, that there are people in America who need help, who are not lazy?
I do. The unemployment rate in North Dakota is 2.6%. Yeah. Why? Drilling on private lands. In Midland, Texas, it's 3.2%. How about a job for the 50 million Americans on food stamps?
The bottom line, too, this is the worst post-recession recovery we've ever had. You say...
Compared to what?
We've ever had. Compared to what? Post-recession. All recessions.
Which ones?
All recessions.
Name another recession that we've had compared
to... 80s, the
what
Great Depression. All recessions.
Which all? Like
everyone prior.
Just let's make up all recessions? If you're going to throw out all recessions, Charles, what recessions are there?
Every single recession that we've had, this is the worst post-recession recovery we've ever had. More importantly, I want to read off some bills to you, Sean. Okay, we've got the Economic Opportunity Act, a Medicaid bill, elementary and secondary education, water quality, housing and urban development, immigration, Medicare, and clean water. Except these aren't bills. These are actual acts. These were laws that were passed as part of LBJ's Great Society. These were supposed to save us from where we are today.
And how much did we spend on that war on poverty that failed?
Well, I tell you what, it's a gazillion times more than was promised.
A
That
war on
those were his
poverty?
words.
But the thing is, Sean, is let's talk about the answers to this.
I've got the answers.
You've got the answers.
I've got answers, yes. You know, Ronald Reagan said the government declared war on poverty and poverty won. He said it in his last State of the Union address. You know,
poverty won? You mean poor people won?
In other words, government helping people in the end hurt them more than help them.
How? How so?
Because
are you saying that people who are getting help are lazy?
No,
because the people who are...
Did I say that?
But that's essentially your argument.
Tamara, for example, I put on my website today, and we're dealing with this later in the program, conservative solutions. One of the solutions is we have more natural gas, more energy, more shale oil than the Middle East combined, and yet we're too stupid to tap into that. Those are job creations. Let me put up on the screen something.
Talk about the middle class. Those are large companies.
Those are jobs.
Right, that large companies need to create. They need to create the jobs. And if you want to talk about tax cuts so they can do that, fine.
Tamara,
but
why do you think...
What about the working man that watches your show, the middle class man?
What about the working man that now... Why is the unemployment rate 2.6% in North Dakota?
Why is the unemployment rate so high in Mississippi that...
Because they're not drilling for oil in Mississippi like they are, and we could be fracking and drilling in all these other states. That's my point.
Okay, but not the middle class person.
Yes,
is not
the
doing
middle class
that. That is the corporation that must create it.
All right. Charles.
Listen, the economic backdrop is such as if you look at prosperity in this country over the last 20 years, it's even places that were very rich, the New Yorks, the Californias, the New Jerseys, millions of people have fled those areas because it's all about these high taxes, these high regulations. In California, 1 million productive people left, replaced by low-skilled immigrants and babies.
Babies are working now?
No, I'm saying who the 1 million people were replaced with. If you look at California's population, it's about the same as it was. But what I'm saying is that productive people leave these places.
What is the annual income of somebody in Mississippi that makes minimum wage?
Let me tell you philosophically.
$15,000.
Let me tell you philosophically why you're wrong. It's often attributed, by the way, to Abraham Lincoln. Ronald Reagan quoted Lincoln, but it actually is a minister by the name of John Henry Boetker is his name. In 1916. This is wisdom throughout the ages. You can't bring about prosperity by discouraging thrift. You can't strengthen the weak by weakening the strong. You can't help little men by tearing down big men. You can't lift the wage earner by pulling down the wage payer. You can't help the poor by destroying the rich. You can't establish sound security on borrowed money.
And I shall tell you what you shall do.
You cannot further the brotherhood of man by inciting class hatred, Tamara. You can't keep out of trouble by spending more than you earn, and you can't build character and courage by destroying men's initiative and independence. And one last one, you cannot help men permanently by doing for them what they can and should be doing for themselves.
And according to the Holy Bible, you shall open wide your hand to your brother, to the needy, and to the poor in your
by
land.
the way, Tamara, one way of doing. By the way, you're not. I don't know why you think helping someone, people who are born and dying on food stamps, why you think that's admirable. And yes, I will answer the question you asked Sean earlier. A lot of people are lazy, and a lot of people are becoming lazier, and we're not doing people a favor, by the way, by letting their job skills go road.
Charles, one study. Show me one study.
My life and my observations. That's the study. My life and my observations.
We doubled the number of people on food stamps, and that's not good for them, and it's not good for the country. I got to go, though. Well, since when? I thought you liberals believed in separation of church and state. You couldn't even mention God in public school, and here you are quoting it as an argument.
It's a move in the right direction.
Yeah, there's hope.
Throw me in
Coming up.